The story opens with a teenage boy running for his life through a cornfield. Something is chasing him, something not human. Whether it wants to eat him or simply destroy him, we never really know. All we see is his fear. He tries to hide, tries to stay quiet, but the entity finds him and attacks without mercy. And for this town, the horror was only getting started. Welcome to R.L. Stine's Pumpkinhead. Sometime later, we shift to a completely different scene. A small family on a school break trip, heading to a farm attraction for a simple holiday. This is Cassie, a young mother who has been both parent and provider ever since her husband passed away. She brings her two children, Finn the older brother, and Sam, the youngest and most difficult to manage. They arrive at a place called Red Haven, marked by a pumpkin logo welcoming visitors. Cassie found this place through an online flyer, and when they arrive, the local sheriff greets them. He explains that the town is preparing for a harvest festival, something the community takes very seriously. Cassie introduces Finn and Sam, and in return, the sheriff introduces his daughter, Becca. Becca is instantly drawn to Sam, since they look about the same age. After introductions, the sheriff guides Cassie and her children to the lodging prepared for them. Finn teases Sam, who has disliked the trip from the moment they left home. He convinces his brother to follow their mother to the town's produce market. When they arrive, something immediately feels off. The townspeople are gathered, celebrating the land in a way that looks almost ritualistic. The sheriff explains that it is just how the locals show gratitude for the fertile soil. Everyone samples the fresh produce, except Sam. He wants nothing to do with any of it, convinced the people here are strange. While Finn speaks with the farm owner, Sam wanders off, annoyed and restless. He eventually reaches a locked barn. Inside, he sees something unusual. Pumpkins growing in large clusters inside the building, not outside. It is odd, but what shocks him is when one of the pumpkins seems to form a horrifying face right before his eyes. The farm owner, Farmer Palmer, finds Sam inside and is furious. When Sam tries to ask about the strange pumpkin, Palmer dismisses it as nothing more than Sam's imagination.
It's not ripe.
Becca quickly steps in, pulling Sam away and warning him never to enter that barn again. In this town, Farmer Palmer is respected almost like a leader, and the way everyone praises the fertility of his land only makes the whole place feel even stranger. Sam is ready to leave, convinced this vacation is already a disaster. But Cassie is having fun, decorating pumpkins like everyone else. While she is busy, Sam notices Farmer Palmer's jacket hanging nearby and remembers that the key to the barn is kept in the pocket. He quietly steals it. In his mind, being told not to do something is the same as being told to do it. He plans to return to the barn and take the strange pumpkin he saw earlier. Sam slips back to the barn, takes a knife, and cuts one of the pumpkins from its vine. He takes it with him and lies to Cassie, saying Farmer Palmer gave it to him as a gift. Later that evening, Finn notices something wrong. The pumpkin Sam brought back is already rotting, even though it was freshly cut. When their mother is out of the room, Sam admits the truth. He stole it. Finn is furious and insists that the pumpkin must be returned immediately. Sam refuses, convinced Palmer will not care. But at that very moment, Farmer Palmer discovers the missing key, rushes to the barn, and realizes the pumpkin is gone. Meanwhile, back at Cassie's place, the family is sitting down for dinner, enjoying fresh vegetables from Farmer Palmer's fields. Everyone except Sam. He just pushes his spoon around, talking about how strange the food tastes. Cassie gently asks him to at least try to eat what she prepared, reminding him to appreciate what they have, even if it is not his favorite. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. The sheriff is there. He explains that he received a report about Sam stealing one of Farmer Palmer's pumpkins. Finn admits it and immediately goes to talk to his brother. He tries to calm the situation, asking Sam to return the pumpkin and fix the problem before it gets worse. But Sam refuses, acting like it is no big deal. So Finn decides to return the rotten pumpkin himself. When Finn arrives at the barn, the place is quiet. Tomorrow is Halloween, but no one is around. He goes inside to put the pumpkin back, but when he places it down, he realizes it is no longer a pumpkin. It has transformed into the head of the missing boy from earlier. Before he can react, the vines and plants come to life and wrap themselves around him. Finn disappears. The next morning, Sam notices something is wrong. Finn is not in his bed. He is not at the house. He is nowhere outside. Then Becca arrives talking about the Halloween preparations, and Sam suddenly realizes Finn's bike is gone too. He immediately thinks of the barn. He runs there, calling for his brother. He hopes he is just late or hiding somewhere. But instead, Sam comes face to face with Farmer Palmer. Sam demands to know where Finn is, convinced the farmer has taken him. Farmer Palmer simply says that Sam will never find Finn here again. Those words send Sam into panic. He runs home to tell his mother and the sheriff. But when he speaks about Finn, something is deeply wrong. Cassie looks confused. The sheriff, too. They do not remember Finn at all. To them, Finn has never existed. Sam shows them the family photo, but in their eyes, Finn is not in it. Cassie tells Sam to stop making up stories. She insists he is her only child. But Becca remembers. She pulls Sam away and tells him the truth. Every harvest season, someone disappears. And when the sacrifice is taken, everyone who has eaten food from the farm forgets the victim ever existed. The only ones who can remember are children under the age of 17 and people who refuse to eat anything from the land. Sam is 13, so he remembers. If he reaches 17 while the curse is still active, he will forget too. And because Finn was taken recently, there is still time to save him. Becca tells Sam that the police cannot help. There is only one person who knows how to fight this curse, a man who lives alone in the woods. So Becca and Sam go there in an old trailer, heading deep into the forest. They are looking for Rusty, the man who once confronted Farmer Palmer during a past harvest season. Becca believes Rusty is the only person who knows how to save Finn. Rusty finally explains the truth. Years ago, Farmer Palmer's land was struggling. The soil was weak, crops failed, and one by one the townspeople who depended on the farm began to leave. The entire community was on the edge of collapse. Then suddenly, everything changed. The land became fertile again. Crops grew richer than ever before. At first, it seemed like a miracle, but Rusty knows it was not a blessing. It was the result of a deal that Farmer Palmer made with something dark, and the curse tied to that deal spreads through the food grown on the farm. That is why Rusty only eats canned food. He refuses to take even a bite from the cursed harvest. All of this connects back to a single book, a ritual book that Farmer Palmer keeps hidden. And inside that book lies the answer to saving Finn. So they form a plan. Sam and Becca will sneak into Farmer Palmer's house to find the book. Rusty will distract the farmer. Rusty calls Palmer and pretends to demand something from him, acting like someone trying to settle old business. He lures Palmer away from the house, sending him toward a hill far from home. The distraction works. Sam and Becca slip quietly into the house. Sam hopes they will also find Finn inside. They decide to split up. Becca searches for the book, while Sam checks the barn behind the house. Out there, he finds a locked building, and he can sense something watching him from the shadows. Meanwhile, Becca searches room to room. Rusty continues keeping Palmer occupied, but the old man has a rising suspicion that something is wrong. Eventually, Palmer starts heading back home. At the same time, a scarecrow in the barn begins to move. The same scarecrow responsible for taking children in past seasons. Up in the attic, Becca has a realization. If the book is truly important, it might be stored in an old chest. She opens it and finds it full of dolls, which makes no sense. Palmer was never known to have a child, especially not a daughter. And buried underneath those dolls is the ritual book they have been searching for. Meanwhile, Sam is running for his life as the scarecrow begins hunting him through the barn. Palmer returns home. Becca accidentally steps on a creaking floorboard, something that has never happened in that house before. Palmer heads upstairs to investigate. Becca has to escape as fast as she can. Sam is caught. The scarecrow grabs him and begins draining the life from him. But just in time, Rusty arrives and strikes the scarecrow, pulling Sam to safety. They escape together, but the curse is far from defeated. At the same moment, Becca tries to run with the book, but Farmer Palmer catches her. He takes the book back, and then something unexpected happens. Palmer sees Rusty. The two recognize each other. It is the first time in many years that their eyes have met. There is a history between them that has not yet been told. With the book reclaimed, Farmer Palmer goes to the barn, to the monstrous pumpkin that has been feeding on the lives of others to keep the land alive. Back at their hideout, Becca finally asks the question that has been on her mind. How did Farmer Palmer recognize Rusty? Rusty takes a deep breath and explains the truth. Farmer Palmer is his father. Rusty tells them that when he and his sister Lily were younger, the farm went through a terrible season. The crops died, the soil dried, and the town was falling apart. Then Palmer discovered a strange book. He believed the book could bring a blessing to the land. He locked himself in the barn, studying its rituals. And one day, Rusty and Lily stumbled upon a strange pumpkin creature in the field. The creature attacked without warning, taking Lily right before Rusty's eyes. After Lily was gone, the land suddenly flourished. The crops returned stronger than ever. But when Rusty asked about his sister, Farmer Palmer claimed he did not remember having a daughter at all. Something had erased her from his mind. That was the moment Rusty left the farm and chose to live alone in the woods. He could not stay in a place built on sacrificing his own family. Rusty then explains that the giant pumpkin feeds on children taken by the scarecrow, turning them into fertilizer for the farm. Every harvest season, he has tried to stop it, but Farmer Palmer always protects the ritual book. Without that book, the cycle continues. When Rusty begins to lose hope, Becca refuses to let him give up. She begs him to keep fighting, so no more children have to disappear. That night on Halloween, the plan is set. Sam will steal the ritual book again, with the help of Becca and Rusty. Sam hides their plan from Cassie, who still cannot remember Finn at all. But the plan runs into a problem when the sheriff forbids Becca from leaving the house. He insists she stay home and watch television instead of going out for Halloween. Meanwhile, Rusty waits alone and grows frustrated when Sam and Becca do not arrive. Becca thinks quickly. She sees a group of children outside trick-or-treating and decides to use them as a distraction. She offers them a bucket of candy in exchange for pretending to be her and Sam. The children agree without hesitation. With the distraction in place, Becca and Sam slip out and run to meet Rusty in an open field. They grab their bikes and race toward Farmer Palmer's house. They spot Palmer relaxing on his porch. To draw him away, Rusty sets off fireworks nearby. Before they split up, Rusty warns Sam and Becca not to let Palmer catch them. Farmer Palmer sees the fireworks and immediately grows suspicious. He calls the sheriff, asking if Becca and Sam are still at the house. The sheriff confirms they are sitting in the living room, watching TV. But what he does not realize is that the two children he sees are only decoys. Farmer Palmer, still confused about the fireworks, goes off to investigate. Once he is far enough away, it is time for Sam and Becca to act. Out in the field, Rusty is waiting. As soon as Palmer gets close, Rusty fires a tranquilizer shot. With one hit, Farmer Palmer collapses, unable to move. This gives Sam and Becca the chance they need. They slip into the house, head down to the basement, and find the ritual book. But something feels wrong. It was almost too easy. And then the scarecrow appears again, attacking them in the dark. Sam and Becca are forced to run. The scarecrow hunts them through the basement, relentless. Becca quickly thinks of a plan. She distracts the creature using a slingshot, giving Sam a moment to grab the book. Together, they lure the scarecrow into a storage room and push it into a large freezer. When the creature leans forward, Sam and Becca slam the door shut and lock it. The scarecrow is trapped, at least for now. While this is happening, the sheriff is still at home, sitting comfortably with the children who are pretending to be Sam and Becca. After a while, he starts to feel guilty for keeping Becca from going out. He tries to spend time with her, never realizing he is actually talking to a child in costume. Back in the field, Farmer Palmer wakes up. Rusty confronts him, pouring out his grief over Lily. But Palmer still cannot remember ever having a daughter. The curse erased her from his memory. Rusty blames his father for everything and decides he cannot allow any more lives to be taken. He prepares himself to end it, once and for all. Meanwhile, Sam and Becca reach the barn, waiting for Rusty to join them so they can destroy the demonic pumpkin. But Rusty has not arrived yet. As Sam looks at the massive pumpkin more closely, he realizes the truth. Finn is inside it. His brother is still alive, trapped within the creature. Becca frantically searches the ritual book for a spell that can break the curse, but the writing is tiny and difficult to understand. She finally chooses one and begins reading, even though she does not know what the words mean. The chant triggers something. The pumpkin reacts. Farmer Palmer suddenly remembers Lily. Cassie, back at home, suddenly remembers Finn. The memories return all at once, as if the fog in their minds has been lifted. Cassie runs to the sheriff in panic, demanding to know where her children are. She returns home and sees the two costumed kids sitting in the living room. She apologizes to Sam, believing he is still there with Finn somewhere. But the children remove their costumes and it becomes clear. They are not Sam and Becca at all. With everything out in the open, the sheriff tells Cassie to stay where she is. He claims he will search for Becca and her children. Meanwhile, Farmer Palmer is overwhelmed with guilt, finally realizing the weight of what he has done. He remembers Lily, the daughter he once loved more than anything. But while he breaks down, something else happens in the background. The scarecrow trapped in the freezer manages to break free. And because of the spell Becca read, Finn begins to free himself from inside the demonic pumpkin. Once Finn escapes, the sheriff is flooded with calls. Parents across town are panicking, demanding to know where their children are. The sheriff rushes to the barn, trying to control the chaos as the monstrous pumpkin begins to hunger again. And this is where the final truth is revealed. Farmer Palmer confesses that the cursed book did not come from him. It came from the sheriff. The sheriff is the one who started all of this. He was the one who brought the book to the farm in the first place, promising salvation for the town. But he never mentioned the price. Now, with everyone inside the barn, the sheriff locks the doors and handcuffs Sam, preventing him from escaping. Rusty realizes the sheriff has been behind the sacrifices from the beginning and sprints toward the barn. Farmer Palmer follows him, desperate to stop another tragedy. Inside, the sheriff explains his reasoning. He claims he only wanted to save the town from starvation. He believes that sacrificing Sam is necessary to keep the land fertile. The vines of the demonic pumpkin begin wrapping around Sam, pulling him in. Becca begs him to stop, but the sheriff tells her that when she grows older, she will forget Sam anyway, just like everyone else forgot Finn. Then he begins chanting the sacrifice ritual. Outside, Rusty reaches the barn, only to be confronted by the scarecrow. The two fight. Just when Rusty is nearly overwhelmed, Farmer Palmer steps in to save him, giving Rusty another chance. Inside, Finn tackles the sheriff, interrupting the ritual. Becca hurries to cancel the spell before midnight. If they are even 1 second too late, Sam will be lost forever. Finn rushes to help Cassie, who has just witnessed Farmer Palmer's soul being taken by the scarecrow. Becca continues reading the reversal spell, her voice shaking but determined. And finally, the curse shatters. The demonic hold over Red Haven breaks. Nature settles. The land becomes still. Sam runs to his family, smiling with relief. But Cassie and Finn look at him with empty eyes. They do not know him. Becca realizes what happened. The spell completed just a little too late. Sam survived, but the cost of the curse remains. He is forgotten, completely erased from their memories. Sam tries to find the book again, desperate to restore what was lost. But the book is gone. The curse is gone. There is no way to bring back their memories. Cassie and Finn walk away, leaving Sam standing alone in the barn. Becca and Rusty step beside him. They cannot undo what happened, but they will not leave him. Not now, not ever. Sam is alive. But now he must live in a world where his own family no longer knows he exists. So the moral of the story is sometimes when someone tells you not to touch something weird in a locked, spooky barn, maybe just listen and go eat a sandwich instead.